it up?
Well, it's 2:50, so I think that maybe we can get started. Thanks for joining us. For those of you in the email, if you haven't done this, we're going to talk about some things, but the thing that we're going to focus on the most today, because we're so excited about what it has to offer for our students, is Brisk Teaching, briskteaching.com. And you're going to want to, at some point soon, you want to add this to your Chrome extension, and you'll see why in a minute. But this is a tool that we really have dug into recently, and like we said, there's now a student feature that once our AI policy is passed, we're going to be able to use this with students. Yay!
Yeah,
So,
this is really awesome. And the one thing that we're just gonna put here as a little caveat is the fact that that Brisk extension, it's free. You can add it to Chrome. Will it be free in 6 months? We don't know, because it has so many amazing features that it is kind of like blowing our minds that, like, wait, we don't even have to pay for this. So definitely get it. It's free. You'll see it show. Shelly, can you even just circle, like, or use your mouse and show where it is on your screen up
so
top?
do you
Just that.
see up
Yep.
here? It'll show on your do you see this little Brisk sign down here?
Yep.
When you see that, that's when, you can use AI to create some amazing things.
Shelly, can
Yeah,
you show me again?
what's
Where is
that?
it?
So, can you see my screen, and can you see
Yeah.
where it says "Add to Chrome for free"?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
When you add it to Chrome, they're gonna ask you to pin it. So, I have it up here. So, in my extensions, I have it pinned, but, it'll pop up. Like, once you have it pinned, it pops up when you can use it throughout some of, your web-based stuff and
Yeah,
Google
you'll
Docs.
see it in Google Docs,
Yep,
you'll see it in slides, you'll see
yep.
it on YouTube. But basically, yeah, once you click that add Chrome to free, it'll be in your toolbar. Click the puzzle piece, pin it up there, and then you're basically in. That's all you have to do.
And we are working from the freemium version.
Mhm.
There is a paid version. We're looking into what that would cost, but, the free version so far has done a lot. So,
Yeah.
we're really excited, but like Jonathan said, we have no idea how long this will last, but I would think they would offer some parts that are would be continue to be free. It seems like, this is the company that seems to be the most, give giving towards, letting getting access, for students, so it's really exciting. So, before we get started, I know that some of you nope, I'm not there. I wanted to look at the one that says this one. Oh, nope, it's not there. I wanted this one. Okay. So this is the document that we used last week. For those of you that weren't able to make it for our AI training, I think we pinned it in the chat. This has a whole bunch of resources if you wanted to dig into AI. But like we said, we'll be focusing a lot today on just using Brisk. So, yep, download that extension if you can. We're going to show you two sides to this. We're going to show you the teacher side, and then we're going to show you what we've been doing with the student side. So it's really exciting.
And just to throw this out as well, Shelly said that the link to that AI resource was in the chat. If you're watching this and this is recorded, just keep in mind too that you can find that link in our WSD Tech Warrior course in Google Classroom.
Good reminder. So last week we presented on AI, and if you noticed, I have Brisk open, so I have this icon here. When I go to click on it, there is a panel of things that I can take a look at. The first one is create. This is more like the teacher side. I can click create, and there are things that I can do with this Google slide. For instance, if I wanted to make a quiz, I can click on this, I can select the grade level, and then what Brisk is going to do is it takes this whole presentation and creates a Google form assessment. I tried this today and I was kind of blown away. It's like 10 questions. It will title it. Can you see it as it's populating up here?
Yep,
You can
yep,
see
it's
my
cooking.
screen. So it says new quiz, but it's gonna replace it. AI and education quiz, and it automatically populates a quiz based on that
That's
presentation.
amazing.
So thought that was a pretty good one. We'll show you later how you can use this with students as well, but there are different ways that you can use it for teachers. Again, if I hit that create button, there's plenty of choices. I don't know, Jonathan, if you should I just mention the glows and grows? I mean, that's in here. Let's
If you want, let's I'll switch over. I've got my
okay,
doc up real quick, and then I'll switch back to you
that
pretty
sounds
quick.
great.
So
I'm
yeah,
gonna
so
stop sharing.
Yeah, and I'll just switch over real quick. So, what Shelly just showed you, I think that's pretty amazing how quick you can take a slideshow. You can do that with a doc. You can do that with a lot of things. But like here, for example, I have. Can you guys see my doc here that says "What is AI?" So imagine this doc is a student essay that you're grading in Google Classroom. So we're in the doc. At any point, I can click on my Brisk icon. It even shows up different colors. I don't know if you noticed that, but in the slideshow, it's yellow. In docs,
Oh,
it's
I didn't
blue.
notice
In
that.
YouTube, it's red. Yeah. So when you click on that, whoops, there we go. I can click on the give feedback button. And there is targeted feedback that you can get related to a rubric if you have the premium. But this Glow and Grow is such an awesome way to just do a quick check in on a student's essay. If I click on that and I hit Brisket, it's going to start generating some feedback. And this is the kind of feedback that you could be sitting next to your student while their paper is up, and you can run it with AI and you can kind of discuss and say, is this Glow and Grow accurate? Do we agree with AI? Is this something we can fix? So we can see here, Glow, fantastic job explaining what AI is, how it works, different examples. Grow, one area for improvement could be to add more details about how AI is used in everyday life, include examples of applications like virtual assistants like Siri, Alexa. It's giving really specific targeted feedback for what students can work on. Now, could you copy and paste this and just put it, in the student's essay? There is a feature to do that. But like we kind of recommended in our AI session, you really want to make sure that you're not just running a program like this and then automatically just assuming it's all correct and sharing that with students. I really think it's important to sit down with students, look at it, or you yourself preview it. And yeah, there might be a piece of this that you say, absolutely, I'm going to copy this, use this for part of my feedback. But you definitely want to make sure you can put some of it in your own words as well. So it's that easy to do it. Again, you could just be running in Google Classroom, just select that grows and glows and make it happen. I also just want to point out real quick this change level feature. There's different programs like Diffit that can do this as well. But again, Brisk seems to be doing it all, where this is an essay, or this is, an example that I have for fourth grade students on what is AI. But if I wanted to use this at a middle school or high school level, if I click on the change reading level, you can see right here in my drop down, I can change this. So we can make the vocabulary way more sophisticated. Or if I know that I'm using this with a first grade class, I might need to tone down some of the vocabulary, simplify it. All you have to do is click it and it's going to generate an entire new document with that reading level. It's pretty amazing. So I'm going to stop sharing. I'll kick it back to you, Shelly.
Okay, so lots of ways you can use it for teachers, but I think what we find the most exciting is once this AI policy gets passed, and I believe it's getting passed in November, so it's not too long, we are going to be able to use AI with students. Now, the problem we've been facing is a lot of the tools are 18 plus, or tools like Magic School AI that have the student feature are paid. We don't know how much money that is. We're looking into that. But right before we started polishing up our presentation from last week, Faith, I think it was you that started following Brisk, and because I follow you, I swore it popped up, Brisk Boost for students. So, it was totally you that made me start to look more into this, and as I was looking into it, I started getting so excited thinking, "Oh my gosh, I think this is safe. I think we could actually use this with kids." We didn't have enough time, we didn't test anything out, so we didn't even talk about it on Monday because we already had or Tuesday because we had so much already to talk about. So what we did was we had Fred and Beth look at the privacy policy, terms of service. We're good, green light. So I went into Lisa Colino's room and tried some things out. We got smooth walled. So Fred unsmooth walled us for us to be able to use it with you up until the AI policy is passed because we want to be able to beta test before we want to make sure this tool actually works. This is amazing. So, we're just going to share with you some of the ways that we've used it in the last week. We're blown away. Do you want me to start with a character chat, Jonathan, so then you can move back, or how should we do this?
How about we follow up with the character chat? Because I would love if people tried that. Where do you
Okay.
want me to just show them real quick the just the user interface?
Yeah. Now, were you going to show what you're doing with
Yeah, with Jenkins, and
Jenkins
that'll
Bot?
be the
Yep.
preview. That's
Yep.
great. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Sounds great.
okay, cool. So I'm just going to share with you guys. This is something that Jerry Jenkins and I were teaming up with over at fourth grade at Bonfield. So if you guys can see my screen, I'm going to go back to this AI defined document. So we were like, how do we introduce students to AI? We have this document that essentially just covers definitions, types of AI, prompt engineering, AI safety. But I'm going to switch over to the Brisk student page. So this is like my teacher classroom. You can see I have here Mr. Jenkins' class, and we've got that exact document that says, what is AI? And this is what it looks like when we're running this document with students. So you can see here, I've got my sample student, and we have a mock student here, and Sean was kind enough to let us use Brendan. But students essentially look at this document, and they have a chat bot that's running with this document where they're going to have to complete certain learning objectives. And I'm going to click on the view button here. And this is like Apple Classroom. I can see every single student that's working on this. And this is what my student said to the Brisk tutor bot based on the document that we were looking at. So my Brisk Boost says, hi, it's great to meet you. I'm excited to chat about AI. Now at the top, these were the learning objectives that were decided. So define AI, identify 3 types, list 3 safety tips, explain how it's different from humans. And as the student here was asking questions and saying things, I think it's a robot, this AI tutor chat bot was basically redirecting to try to like, can you give me some examples? You're right. Alexa uses AI, it can predict things. That's a great observation. Here's how it's different from computers. So as questions were completed, these learning objectives basically fill in. So you can assign this as a link to your students. And as students are interacting with a chatbot that is an expert on whatever you uploaded, like this Google Doc, they are completing these objectives as the tutor sees that they're understanding the concept. Another cool thing is while they're going through this, you can see here, I start talking about potatoes. So I start saying, I can't stop thinking about potatoes, potato, potato, potato. And you can see this little red exclamation point that showed up. So the chatbot is actually marking that as inappropriate. So if your students start talking about potatoes or something unrelated to the chatbot, you as the teacher on the teacher end, and I'll just close this real quick so you can see next to my student here, we have that inappropriate comment marked. So you can actually have your roster of students set up right here, and you can follow along as they're completing learning objectives, and you can kind of see what they're doing, if it's correct, if they're meeting needs, if they're not actually on task, which is pretty amazing. So that's kind of what I wanted to show on this end. Shelly, is there anything else you want me to hit before I turn it over to you? And
I'll just show them how they would access that, because we went right to the dashboard, but we can show you, like, all you did is you pull that doc, you clicked on that icon, and you clicked on Boost Student Activity. So go ahead and click on that.
Yeah, so if I go back to that Brisk one just to show you, so yeah, we were just in the create and we were giving feedback for the grows and glows. So you can see that little backpack icon, Boost Student Activity. And when we click on this opens up an entire dashboard. Let's see if I can zoom. Yeah, there we go. An entire dashboard on different ways that you can engage with students. So there's tutoring. That's where we have our chat bot. Shelly will talk about character chat. There's also some really cool assessments that I'll let Shelly share that we just started exploring. Exit tickets. I could turn this entire doc into an exit ticket, a pulse check, things like that. It looks like the write and reflect are coming soon from what I'm seeing over there. But yeah, the engage features, pretty incredible. So I'm gonna turn it back over to you.
Okay.
Oh. It won't turn on. All right, I'll switch over.
All right, so I did the chat with Lisa's kids again, and at that point, that was last week, and they allowed me to pick standards, but that's no longer a free version. But if you notice, one of the choices in Brisk was character chat. So I really wanted to try it out. So I tried it out today with the kids, and Lisa's reading 4 different books. So we created 4 different chats. So the whole idea of the character chat is you pull from a resource. So for instance, one of the 4 books that they were reading was Where the Red Fern Grows. So on purpose, I picked a variety of resources. So I picked Wikipedia for one. I picked a website they were reading. Some of them are reading The Watsons Go to Birmingham is another one. And then they were reading the book Starfish and Otter, which don't have a whole lot of content. So I picked like author pages. Like I purposely picked different sources to pull to see what the difference would be. What was really cool is like for Otter, it was the author. So the kids were communicating with the author as a character chat. So again, you click on the button, you go to Boost Student Activity, and you choose character chat, and you choose your grade level, and then you choose Brisket. And what it does is it'll start to populate learning objectives, what you want the kids to accomplish, it'll then also say your role as, you know, the chatbot's role is going to be, he's going to be Billy Coleman, the main character from the story. And this is the role. These are the goals that he's going to have in order to, you know, for the kids to have that conversation.
And just to throw this out too, because I know Jerry was asking this when we were doing it, but AI is coming up with those learning objectives. They're usually pretty good. You can actually edit and customize any of those. So if you want to add your own learning objectives, delete theirs, or if you want to keep some and add your own, you can add as many as you want.
So we had 4 different groups going on. We had Where the Red Fern Grows, Starfish, When the Watsons Go to Birmingham, and Otter. And I was curious to see where they would pull from. So what I did was for each of the books, I created a chat room using that Brisk Boost. So, and I will share this with you guys so that you can see the different objectives that pop. The objectives kind of blew my mind, like automatically giving the character the role. So what we did was we shared this in Google Classroom with the kids. They clicked on the link with their Google sign in, they were able to get in, and then they were interacting with these characters. And what was really cool was Lisa was worried because they didn't finish the book yet. So they're like, "Oh gosh, I don't want any spoilers." So when they went to chat, we said, "Well, just tell the character that you are only up to chapter 11." So the character was like, "Yeah, that's fine." And then they would try to trick the character, and the character be like, "No, wait a minute, you're asking me something past chapter 11." So it was that smart to know. Um, some kids, like there was with the Catherine Applegate, the conversation with the author, it was just so great. And she actually dove into questions that were from the read aloud that they were reading. So they don't just pull from the document that you choose. It seems that the AI triggers from all other different sources. Some of the kids did feel like because they had already done the chatbot activity, it did feel a little chatbotty to someone. Some of them thought the author one felt authentic, but it was really, really cool. Then they were like, "Oh, the character is talking in third person." So then they tell the character not to talk in first person. The character would apologize. Like it was just so cool, and you get to see this conversation happen. So I could see this in so many different ways, but we were just blown away because you know we've been around enough to know like 10, 15 years ago you could not do something like this, and it was pretty awesome.
Shelly, can you show? I don't know if we'll have time to send it out to everyone, but can you even click on the link that'll let you preview the assignment so you can
So
show
if
them what kids will
I
see?
go, let's see, if I go and I share this with you, right? And I copy the link and put it in the chat.
Yeah, you could do
Be
that
a
too.
good
I was
way.
gonna say
Yeah.
if you yourself even click on the link, I know it'll open up in that preview window.
Yeah, so
Um,
I could, go here. So this is, which one is this one? Let's see. I'll go to this one. I'll click on the link and show you what it looks like. Actually, what I'll do is I'm just gonna go here and I'm
mhm.
gonna go to Brisk and I'm gonna go to Boost Student and I'm gonna go to Character Chat to
Oh
show you
yeah,
what
that's
it
great.
looks like.
Yep.
I'm gonna brisk it, but when you brisk it, as the learning objectives populate, which they should be doing now, yep. You then get, it'll say next preview. You actually get to interact. So you get to click here and hit the let's go so that you can kind of see what happens as you're having the
Yeah,
conversation.
so what you're seeing here is exactly what students will see. They have the article on the left. It says the Brisk Boost. Howdy, I'm Billy Coleman from Where the Wet. So that little chat box there, which Shelly could type in something there, and you see the learning objectives above the character chat. And Shelly, can you expand that little drop down arrow where it says learning objectives, like just above?
So this one right here,
Go up, mouse up a little bit. Learning objectives up. Right
like
there.
mouse.
Yeah, yeah. Yep, that's it. So
Yep.
there's your learning objectives. So Shelly, if you want to type something in there for the chat, relating the story setting in Ozark,
Right.
you can say something about that and you'll see that learning objective
You'll
start
see
to get
this
filled.
you'll see this grow, and then you also
Mhm.
I can go back and I can see every kid and I can see their chat. I won't do that because we're recording it, but it's pretty awesome. It
Yeah.
was yeah, it kinda blew my mind away because this is something that we've never done before.
Yes,
So
great question.
So does it save that progression of the learning objective for each student? So I could go
Yep.
back in later?
mhm.
Yep.
Wow, okay.
The same link. Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
And it'll show you, it'll be color coded. It'll be like yellow if they didn't quite hit it, or green. And then it'll tell you if there's anything like those red for the one kid asked, "Do you like pickles?" And it flagged it. So it's pretty amazing. I want to quickly show you what I was just messing around with just today. So this is our AI presentation. I clicked on this, I clicked on boost student activity. So think if you have a presentation that has a lot of information on it, you can go to assess and you can go to pulse check. And what the pulse check did was, I love this activity. So it pulled from my presentation and now it's going to create, you'll see when I go to hit preview. This is all about AI. So when I go next to preview and see how it is, here is the presentation. And then I go to let's go, and it's going to start doing a pulse check. It's going to be asking me questions about the different slides as I go along. Like, how cool is that?
Yeah, it's awesome.
So I'm going to stop sharing. I think I said everything I needed to say.
No, that's great. I know sorry guys, I know we went a little bit over our 305 planning thing, but we are seriously pretty jacked about this. And you can see how easy it is to use. It creates a link that you can share right in classroom for students. Again, as Shelly mentioned, just to reiterate, for right now, we are kind of in still that beta testing mode where I think if you collaborate with one of us, we can try this out with students. And then once our policy gets officially approved, we can probably move forward with actually saying, hey, here's a green light. And Shelly and I will certainly create some content if you guys just want to say, hey, here's what we're going to share with students to introduce them to AI before you start just kind of using it, as you see fit. So
It's some great conversations with kids. They're really, you can tell that critical thinking, and I'm asking him to speak in first person, or I'm trying to get it to it's really cool to watch it all unfold and for them to use it for good, right? We're teaching them how to use it in meaningful ways that's going to help them. And we talk about the importance of the process and how, this helps us with the process of learning. Whereas if we just asked it for a math problem or spit out our, writing a writing piece, it's not going to help us with our process of learning. So it's been great.
It's also going to save you a lot of time when you're doing like a one-on. I at least know with my writing workshops, if it was like one-on-one students waiting to talk to me, I had students just waiting, where this is going to, hopefully that AI tutor is going to be able to help them get from point A to point B. And then as the teacher, you can really provide that like deeper feedback for their writing and things like that, where at least that's going to check them along the way and be like, yep, you're on the right track, or nope, actually you need to shift over here. So I think it's a great tool for differentiation as well. But I'm seeing it's 312, so we should probably call it at this point. What do you think, Shelly?
Yep. But here we're playing around as well. So if this is something that you find, if you want to try it in your classroom, please don't hesitate to reach out. This makes us really excited. It's so easy too.
Absolutely. Thanks for attending, everyone. If you have any questions, you want to stick around, you're welcome to, but definitely if you have to get out of here, we understand completely. So thanks for attending.
Bye, guys.
See you guys.